Great! What's up? Good vibes. So, today, let's start this video in a different way. I'll give you 4 seconds, my friend. Please hit the like button. Yeah. I know you have already done so. Now you see peace, honesty, forgiveness, and unity is our message here to all earthlings across the whole world. And our fruit today here, don't know how you call it in your language, but here we call it matomoko. You see? For good vibes, leave your comments of how you name it, you see? And my friend, as we react to these videos, leave your comments and hit the like button. Good vibes all the way. I'm Y311H.
Ew. I believe that this invention above, which is Terrence Howard invention, the linchpin. That's right, it's called linchpin. You can Google this and look it up. Linchpin. This device up here, he says, is going to make cranes obsolete. And in his podcast with Joe Rogan, he goes on to talk about how these pyramids, these ancient pyramids in Egypt and all the places around the world were built with this type of technology. He literally created a type of technology where it defies gravity, going against gravity. Propulsion systems without heat, meaning no wasted energy. Everything you can see right here is circular. Nothing is a straight line. He explained how straight lines, when they hit a corner at a high speed, it has to stop and start up again. That's a waste of energy. And this is why things may overheat. But think about it. You see these little 2 handles at the bottom? He's able to pick up heavy weights with this little small machine that he calls the linchpin. So just imagine the type of technology that ancient civilizations were exposed to that could lift up those 90-pound bricks and blocks and have perfect edges. You see, we've been lied to about a lot of stuff, and y'all need to go watch that clip because Terrence Howard, once again, is proving all the doubters and haters wrong. If you want to stay indoctrinated, that's on you. But the new world is here, the new sun is here. We're getting back our knowledge. Shout out to this because there's no wasted energy. A propulsion system that doesn't produce heat. What does that sound like to y'all? Leave in the comments below. Peace and one love.
Interesting stuff, my friends. Look at this. Oh, this looks like those flying.
Have you ever noticed this? And it's the tightening of the lips, pulling them together, and it's kind of a pout. It is often done by women. Don't see it as men as much, but they do it too. But mostly women do it when they've heard something that they don't agree with. And it can be a bit of a cheeky gesture, but it also can mean disapproval. They don't like what they've just heard.
Watch this video before it's removed from the internet.
You should never speak with your language in past sentence or future sentence. For the heart to be able to manifest needs always to be in present sentence. When you talk in present sentence, the universe will always create present, not possibilities in the future or structures in the past.
This was labeled as free energy. Take a look at it. If anything, it's interesting. I'm not sure where the power source. It looks like a positive and a negative lead, but as you'll see, once he opens this thing up, it becomes unexplainable. I don't know, maybe one of you guys have an explanation for this, but if you could at least just start a fire, that alone would make it free energy.
My friends. Oh, this guy is doing another experiment here with this red mercury stuff. It's unbelievable, man. What are these tools that he is using? Oh, this is un. Ha! Look at this, man. This guy here say we don't deserve dogs because of their love and compassion and how just happy they are to see us. You see, it's just incredible, my friends. If we all had such love for one another, it could be incredible. You see, the world could be full of good vibes. We could all be forgiving, united. You see, and respect yourself for clicking this video. I believe it's because of good vibes humans like yourself that we can spread love to the whole world. You see, I believe we will always click the like button without even being reminded like a good vibe soul. And because of that, my friends, love can reach the whole world. Look at these ones. They are lovely, adorable. It's just amazing, my friends. The interaction between animals and humans, it's just amazing, you see. Oh, and it just shows us how incredible nature is.
People of God message. A lot of times people wonder, how is it that people are able to have intimacy with you and siphon your energy? In the realm of the spirit, there are openings, doors, portals. It's as if it's a building and you need a key in order to get in. So spiritually, when someone has intimacy with you, they get a key into your portal or your door spiritually. Many of us are very gifted, and we are so gifted in the realm of the spirit, but we do not have the eyes to see into the spirit. And so people who do have the eyes to see, they sometimes will attach themselves to you because they see in the spirit what you possess and what your portal, the opening of your spirit, what is inside of it. And so intimacy, when it is done with someone who is spiritual and they're negative, they know how to use the idea of intimacy to gain access into your spiritual field, into your spiritual realm. Sometimes they will access it without you even knowing that that is what is taking place. But what are the signs that you are being accessed spiritually through intimacy? You will have chills. You will feel a heightened sense of like you're moving into another reality during the intimacy, and what you regard as being a really good time, it's actually the person has entered into your spiritual field and is now getting access to all that you have spiritually and attempting to use it. It is spiritual robbery. So next time that you have an intimate situation and you feel as though something is off about it, perhaps maybe it was like you felt too deep, or when the intimacy was over, you felt as if something was taken from you, or you feel tired, or you feel drained. The person is spiritual and they know what they're doing. They're becoming intimate with you for a reason. They have an underlying purpose behind why they want to be intimate with you. And it has nothing to do with a relationship or to be close with you. It has everything to do with siphoning your energy. So they know that spiritually they can open up into your spirit if they get you in that position of intimacy and they do their rituals in their mind. Many times people are thinking some really horrible things towards you mentally and spiritually while they are intimate with you, and they are looking for a way to get into your spirit. It's not about the intimacy. So people of God, please be careful out here. Don't just get involved with anybody. Search people very well before you take that next step. Amen. Amen.
PPTC is a type of self-resettable fuse. On overload, a short circuit, or overheating conditions, its resistance increases significantly to stop the current flow. Unlike the glass fuses, PPTC fuses returns to its normal operation once the fault is cleared.
Me, I've been working on food all along. It's crazy.
Do you know what these are? These are actually little fruits called physalis. Inside this outer papery husk is a little fruit that looks kind of like a small orange tomato. It has a really unique sweet tart flavour, kind of like a combination of pineapple and tomato. And inside the flesh is filled with these teeny tiny little seeds. And it's super juicy. Yum!
Huh. It's good vibes, humans.
Look at that. Looking down, it's not even in the same direction. Like it's floating. There it is. Let me, hold on. This camera's gotta straighten itself out. Hold on. Let me do this right. Alright, here we go. Here we go. And here we go. This is the moon. This is not an app. I've been waiting for you. Oh, big face in the sky. Yeah, see it? You can't see it with the naked eye unless you zoom in, and it's something about the light. Hold on. There you go. Check it. Check it out. There it is. Beautiful. Scary at the same time. It's back. Look at that. Now look at that. See this? Couldn't see it at first with my naked eye because I'm trying to look at the moon and the camera at the same time. But check that out. Look at that. Looking down. It's not even in the same direction. Like it's floating. There it is. Take that to the banks. Take that to the banks. It's the face. Oh my, oh my. You better get right. Get right.
How is this even possible? How can you explain that? You see? I'm always surprised how you see videos here of crazy stuff behind the moon or on the moon. And from this side of the world, you always look at the moon, but we see none. You see? Anyway, we should always be honest with one
speaks
another.
about how he was outside with his dog when he discovers what looks like a drone mosquito. Make sure you watch until the end and let me know what you think in the comments below.
Outside a while ago, I got my dog throwing his stick. We heard about the coming across the street. I figured it was a bunch of locusts or bugs, I don't know, June bugs or something. They flew over our head probably 7, 8 feet. One of them hit the pole, and you could hear it on the ground. I thought it was one of those katydid things. But you tell me, why in the hell would this shit right here be flying around? Somebody please explain to me what the hell that is. And I found out as I was picking it up, if you squeeze that on the end on each end, then it's going to do it one time, then I guess it shuts it off. So somebody, for the love of God, please tell me what that is.
My friends, what is that thing? Have you ever seen such stuff?
Let's talk about it. Did you know that there's a nerve right behind our fingernail that's directly connected to your hair follicle and to your scalp. And by doing this, this provides blood flow to the scalp and it promotes hair growth. Let's get healthy.
Let's always play the live. Say no to drugs.
Watch
and
this.
be honest.
They win TikTok. This was so beautiful. Oh my goodness. I love this, man.
What's this for? Why? Why? Just for you. To do what? Whatever you want to do. Feel free. I like a bird and spin it. Never. Yes. Why? You said you wanted to go to the mall, so whenever you go, enjoy. Yes. I'm gonna take you on a date.
Now that's a woman who appreciates her man.
Maybe it's for you to spend on you. Alright, so I'm gonna spend it on us. Alright,
That's a woman who appreciates her man.
Like, you take where you wanna go. I take you where you wanna go.
I can't clap, but
I take you on a date.
they win TikTok.
Yeah, let's go on a date.
Now listen, anytime I see online or in real life when a spouse does something for their significant other, right? And immediately the significant other thinks, how can I use this gift to benefit both of us? You know what I think about? I think about how much love must be flowing in that relationship. How much love must be flowing in that marriage. Because that's what love is about. Love is about that oneness, right? At some point, it doesn't become about the individual, although I do recommend individuality in relationships to keep that love and attractiveness going. But at some point and in some elements, the two become one. So whatever I'm doing for myself, I'm doing for you. Whatever she doing for herself, she doing for me. And that's what love is, and that's what made that video so beautiful at the time. I remember that was one of my first videos on TikTok to go like viral, right? That was one of the first. I think that video had like 443,000 views when I posted it. And it's just so beautiful when I see couples really showing that love online, because a lot of times what we're seeing is couples not showing each other love. A lot of times what we're seeing is stereotypes against men and stereotypes against women, as if all people and all relationships are the same. They are not. There are still good couples out here. There are still good couples out here that's not fronting for social media. There are still good couples out here that's showing love to each other in real time, IRL. You understand what I'm saying? And there are also some couples that are just showing that love online, but they miserable behind closed doors. But because they get in the bag from social media, they gonna keep making people think that it's all good, when in actuality, it's not. But shout out to all of the couples out there that's appreciating each other, that's showing love to each other, and that's doing the best that they can to make sure that they establish a life that's worth living with each other. Now, I don't remember the name of that couple, because that was a video that I did like 3 years ago, but I will look for their username so I can tag them in the comments. And as always, thank y'all for watching. You beautiful people.
So if time is an illusion, why does Bashar age? Here's a picture of Daryl Anka, who channels Bashar, and he seems to be getting younger. He explains it as the more present we are, the more we don't age. When we're totally in tune with our passion, or we're working on something we're passionate about, time, we lose a sense of time. It could be 8 hours, but it feels like 1 hour. But the opposite of that is true. When we don't have any momentum, that's when we feel bored, and that's when we create more time for ourselves, and in return, we age more. Time is a third dimensional thing, so people who interact only on the third dimension interact with time, but we exist outside of time. I don't fully understand it, because obviously we are once a baby and now we're here, but that's probably just part of the Earth experience. But when we understand this concept, that's when we don't physically age. I meant to add how old Daryl Anka was at the beginning, but he's 72 years old. And when I first saw that, like, I don't know, a couple months ago, I was like shocked.
Oh my god, unbelievable. or for entertainment purposes.
Pine pollen. Go in the health food store and try to buy a jar of pine pollen. It's going to cost you because the pine is called the evergreen because when the pine is the first one to release its pollen to pollinate all the others to give them permission to go ahead and release your pollen. That's why in the city, they always keep male trees in the city because if you have females, it will pollinate and produce fruit. You don't want that. You want to create allergies. Pollen, when it's released, you have to have the opposite. So if you release a sperm and you ain't got no woman, you ain't gonna produce no kids.
Huh. Did you know that?
Have you ever seen an angel in real life? Watch this video. This man was on his roof all by himself when out of nowhere, a man that he's never met saved his life. And this is what happened. As the man was about to fall off his ladder, a complete stranger held his ladder and he was able to land safely off. You see, God is good and he's still sending his angels today to help us. If you love Jesus, subscribe to my channel right now and type I love you Jesus in the comments.
Yeah, don't spread love, my friends. Hit the like button.
I'm going to give you another example. I can remember my mom and probably some of you out there or your parents will say, oh, well, I don't listen to all those crazy people like Jimi Hendrix and, the Doors or AC/DC or, whoever, Alice Cooper, or Iron Maiden. I don't listen to that kind of, bad music. What about Barry Manilow? Oh, he was a good guy. That was pop. That was not rock. Barry Manilow, and I'm not going to get into his personal orientation on life right now, but he did come out of the closet a few years ago. But let me show you the lyrics to one of his songs. It's a song that every one of us have probably heard. The song is called "I Sing the Songs That Make the Whole World Sing." Let the lyrics come up there so you can see them. I've been alive forever, and I wrote the very first song. I put the words and the melodies together. I am music, and I write the songs. I write the songs that make the whole world sing. I write the songs of love and special things. I write the songs that make the young girls cry. I write the songs, I write the songs. My home lies deep within you, and I've got my own place in your soul. Now, when I look out through your eyes, I am young again, even though I'm very old. Oh, my music makes you dance and gives you spirit to take a chance. And I wrote some rock and roll so you can move. Music fills your heart. Well, that's a fine place to start. It's from me, it's for you. It's from you, it's for me. It's a worldwide symphony. I write the songs. Wow. That was Satan speaking through Barry Manilow. And we don't realize, well, I do now. Sometimes I'll hear a song on the radio and it's like all the words will come back in my mind and I'm like, what is that doing there? And God's like, Eric, you set that in front of your eyes. And I'm like, Lord, I repent for listening to those songs. Blot them out. Erase those lyrics from my mind and my heart because it changes us.
You know what's amazing is you think of these are words, right? Help me hide your words in my heart that I might not sin against you, right? Digest these words, put them in your brain, put them in your mind, so that when you do come up with that confrontation, that you've got something to stand on. And this is the devil's version of that.
Well, my friends, what do you think about
Take
that?
out a TV remote, aim it directly at your camera, and click and hold any of the buttons. What you should see is a little infrared beam coming off of your TV remote because our smartphones can pick up infrared where our naked eye cannot. And so there's a really cool practical application of knowing that your phone can see infrared. And it's to detect if there are hidden cameras in a room that you're in. So let's say you go into a new hotel room or a public restroom, or you're overseas in some sketchy place and you're worried about someone spying on you. Whip out your phone, throw it on camera, selfie mode, and scan the room while watching your phone. If there is a flash of red on your camera, what's happening is the wavelength from your phone's camera and the wavelength from the camera that is hidden somewhere in your room are superimposing and creating an infrared region that your phone can pick up. So if you see that flash of red, you got a problem and you should probably call the police.
Ah, that's interesting.
I
Very
will give you the
interesting.
shirt off my back if you really need it, but I will not set myself on fire to keep you warm. The thing about boundaries is they need to be firm but fair, and they need to be articulated in a gentle way that most will understand. Otherwise, your generosity will overcome you. You just won't have anything left to give.
Be forgiving, my
Ariane Detail
friends.
verifies what we know about the particle experiment.
The hidden dimensions found in particle accelerators. Physicists at CERN have made an extraordinary discovery within the superproton synchrotron, capturing what they describe as a 4D ghost in the machine's vast network of tunnels. This ghost is not a specter in the traditional sense, but rather an elusive, invisible structure that has the power to alter the paths of speeding particles. Researchers have painstakingly measured and detailed this structure, which exists in a complex realm known as phase space. Phase space allows scientists to visualize different states of motion, and this particular structure requires 4 such states to be fully represented, hence its description as 4-dimensional. This intriguing finding is the result of a phenomenon known as resonance, which happens when multiple systems vibrate or move in synchrony. Understanding and measuring this 4-dimensional structure marks a significant advance in the field of particle physics. It helps scientists get closer to solving a persistent challenge that affects all magnetic particle accelerators, particles straying off their intended paths. Physicist Giuliano Franchetti from the GSI in Germany explains the problem. Particles often don't follow the path we plan for them. They deviate, get lost, and this leads to what we call beam degradation. This degradation makes it tough for scientists to maintain the specific conditions they need for their experiments. Resonance, the underlying cause of this issue, is a syncing of oscillations, similar to how planets affect each other's orbits through gravity, or how a tuning fork will start to vibrate in response to the sound waves from another fork. By understanding this 4-dimensional ghost, scientists can better predict and control these deviations, paving the way for more precise and successful experiments in the world of particle physics. Particle accelerators, like the ones at CERN, use incredibly strong magnets to create electromagnetic fields. These fields are crucial because they guide and push particles along a set path at high speeds, aimed at precise targets for experiments. However, these magnets aren't perfect. Sometimes, small flaws in the magnets can cause what scientists call resonance. This resonance creates unwanted magnetic patterns that interact with the particles. These interactions can nudge the particles off their intended paths, causing issues in the experiments. Normally, the movement of particles in these machines is described in simple terms, just 2 coordinates on a flat surface, up and down or left and right. But the real situation is much more complicated. Scientists need to use 4 coordinates to accurately describe what's happening inside an accelerator. This allows them to map not just the flat 2-dimensional paths, but also additional dimensions that take into account the deeper complexities of particle movement. Mapping these 4 coordinates is a challenge because it stretches beyond our usual ways of thinking about space and movement, making it a tough concept to grasp. Physicist Giuliano Franchetti explains that to truly understand the resonance in particle accelerators, it's necessary to consider not just one plane of movement, but both horizontal and vertical directions. This approach might seem simple in theory, but changing how one normally thinks about these problems can be quite challenging. It took years of persistent work and complex computer simulations for scientists to start to understand the impact of resonance on particle beams. These efforts eventually enabled Franchetti and his colleagues, including Hans Bartok and Frank Schmidt from CERN, to use special devices called beam position monitors to detect and analyze the magnetic anomalies affecting the accelerator. By examining around 3,000 beams, they meticulously recorded whether the particles were drifting off to...
Oh, that is interesting science there, my friends. You see?
Real water to make plants grow. All you have to do is take a tape recorder and tape record running water and play it for the plants, and you can fool them into thinking they're getting water. But you don't need the tape recorder. You can do it on the iron oxide crystal, because that's what's on all video audio tapes is iron oxide crystals. They're the little miracles of the world. They're the hardest working little thing I know, and they don't have any unions, they don't organize, they really work cheap. The seed chamber is where I am taking these minerals that are sonically ground and spraying them onto seeds and plants. Now, I built 6 of these, and we've had a major flood in the valley. The city and the county is putting water over. They want to buy me out. And that place had been there 150 years, and it had never had any water until they built the CAP, and they diverted the water away from the CAP, and it's got to me. The federal government don't want to pay any more flood losses, so they're telling the city to buy me out, but the city wants to pay us what we paid for it so many years ago. That's the seed. This is a greenhouse. And on the back of this one is the iron oxide crystals. We've got a huge pile of them that we have taken up, and that's the way we process them.
Taking sonic ground minerals and you're doing what?
Putting them in a vapor and spraying them on it. Spraying them.
In a vapor. Okay.
We're taking the seeds and we're accelerating sprout growth. We can accelerate the life of a sprout growth, and we can put it in a contained chamber. You know why we want to keep it in a chamber? Because we can save the water. I'm going to tell you something else about water. Yeah. Kendall left me with so many things, it's unbelievable. He showed me how to get mineral down fine and get the fine minerals into plants, and then we found out the sonics will do it even better yet. We can take an atomic absorption test, and we can find an ounce of gold in a ton of this black sand. But we can blow it apart with sonic sound, and we can find 3 ounces of gold. Where in the hell is it coming from? It's allotropic, I think. Anyway.
What is a sonic grinder, Joe?
It's a glorified police whistle with about 500 cubic inches of air going through it. And what it's doing is blowing the things apart with sound inside. It's some of Tesla's Star Wars stuff. I don't care if I get the gold out. I'm not interested in the gold coin. I want the gold to work for me. I'm more interested in the allotropic power of the gold than I am. Now let's talk about gold. How many of you know what vitamin D is? It's deuterium. Deuterium is oil of gold. The cod liver oil is the greatest source of it. Codfish swim on the top of the ground, the water, and the sun shines on them, and they're in this cold water, and they spend as much time as they can on the surface. And the meat picks up the deuterium, and the deuterium is one of the best sources there is. So when Grandma give you that cod liver oil, it might taste like hell, but I'm telling you, it was awful good for you.
The fish, the cod liver oil, are getting the sun in their tissue, right?
And the sun. Now, I can show you, I can tell you, and it's kind of cruel the way I proved this to myself, but you can take a gold rod and take a welding machine, and you can take and tape his eyes open. And you can take the rod and flash it over here. How many of you have ever been burnt by the welding rod? That's the metal of the welding rod that went through the air. So if you do that with a rod with gold, and you tap it there, and you take the rabbit's eyes out, I give him a little Novocaine. Anyway, I'm not that bad. But anyway, take his eyes out and put them on a spectrograph. Everybody know what a spectrograph is? It's lines of force that they burn, and the lines will tell them the kind of metal that's there. And what happened is screamed and squealed, and we thought it was going to blow up. And when we took this stuff apart, this slick, slimy stuff in your pencil was crystals. And we call this crystals near diamonds. I thought maybe it'd make a great filter. Instead of activated charcoal, we had activated graphite, and we was as close to diamonds as you could get. It was so hard that you could hit it with a hammer, and it'd make a dent in the hammer and the anvil too. We took this to a couple of professors at the University of Arizona and some of the other people, and they laughed at it. 3 or 4 years later, they did the same thing, and they got a Nobel Prize for it. And they put Buckmaster Fuller's name on it, and they call it the buckyball. So that buckyball was done by an old man, Henry Mann, who was a metallurgical engineer from Leadland College. He's dead now. But graphite, when you take it under those conditions, you turn it into a crystal, and the crystal is as hard as a diamond. You can put different charges of energy. I'll pull out the box later and I'll show you. You can put charges of energy in titanium. You can put charges of energy that's really beneficial to life in almost anything. Incidentally, how many of you people know that Edison did tremendous work on iron oxides? He made it into furniture, made it into houses, and through it he's got to keep going until he made Portland cement, and he made Portland cement, and his biggest money maker of all the things he did was not the light bulb, but the cement.
My friend, say thank you very much for watching up to this far. You've done great. May God bless you, and I wish you love and good vibes from wherever you are. I've been Y311H, and I did it. Bye bye, till next time.